many of our people who are thinking more deeply and more broadly, looking at it as it actually is, and are beginning to see it more in the international context and the relation that it has with the African struggle, a human rights struggle, or the struggle for human rights. And as such, we can then take it into the United Nations
and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
The daytime protests organized by Black civil rights groups have been largely peaceful across the U.S. But the nighttime rioting has involved people of all races. Whether the non-blacks are allies, anarchists, or even white supremacists, as some have accused, is unclear.
We do have to write our own stories, and part of that is, yes, letting us be the voice.
The divisions here are not simple. Protesters of various races in Washington, D.C. attacked a white man after he destroyed a sidewalk. Then they turned him into police.
Don't shoot!
And a young white woman jumped in front of a young black man near the White House, blocking him from advancing police. The widely shared clip showed a moment of racial solidarity.
Hello, brothers and sisters. We bring a greeting from this great organization called the VCC, We Charge Colonialism. We are a group of Pan-Africanists trying to fight for the total liberation of African people in this country, the United States. The African people in this country are colonized people, so we are fighting a system that was purposely created for what we are experiencing today. Going into that, we want to thank our brothers and sisters from the other side of the aisle that are in the front line fighting for the issue that are affecting us today. But we want to ask one question, and this question, it don't mean any harm to anybody. The question here is, what have you been so silent for so long? Because we have been facing this breathing problem for so long. So what have you been silent? Because we have spoke on this for so many times, or we have been speaking on this for so many times, but you have not come out to protest or to come out to stand in gap or to come out to fight the system that is affecting African people today. So the question here is, why were you silent, and why did you wait for so long to come out this time to protest? Why did you not listen to Kwame Nkrumah? Why did you not listen to W.E.B. Du Bois when he was fighting for when he was fighting a justice system, when he was fighting a system created here? Why did you not listen to Malcolm X when he was fighting a system created here? Why did you not listen to Dr. King when he was fighting a system here? I know you may say, we preach Dr. King, we talk about Dr. King. But if you talk about Dr. King alone and you don't talk about Malcolm X, then you are part of the problem, because you only recognize what you think favor you. But if you recognize the issue affecting African people in this country, you will recognize what Malcolm X was talking about, because Malcolm X did not say anything contrary to what black people were experiencing or black people are still experiencing in this country. So to speak, this protest is not a movement that just focus on George Floyd. It is a protest from black people in general fighting a system, a racist system that was created after 1865, after slavery was abolished. And when slavery was abolished, what was put in place to oppress African people was called the Jim Crow era. But before getting to that, I want to talk about Floyd. But the message here is not just about Floyd, but George Floyd, is the cover page of the magazine. There are many autopsy reports out there. We don't care about the report of those autopsies. What we're saying here is, George Floyd did not die because of the underlying condition that the autopsy report came out about. George Floyd did not die or did not bleed from his nose due to his underlying condition. George Floyd did not die because of his underlying condition. George Floyd did not complain of his neck of pain due to the underlying condition. George Floyd did not say my stomach hurt due to the underlying condition. George Floyd did not call the name of his mother due to the underlying condition. George Floyd did not say my entire body hurts due to the underlying condition. George Floyd died because he had 3 police officers sitting on him, 1 at his neck and 2 at his back, where he complained of his stomach hurt because you had knee on his back pointing down his stomach on a harassment. And while the other police officer stood there and watched his other 3 police officers murder George Floyd. That is our stand of the justice system. So our stand is not just about George Floyd. It's about the many people that have died in the hands of the system and the system that protect the police and the police and the police brutality. George Floyd incident just happened to be one of the many instances or incident in this country that were captured or that was not captured on video, but it happened at George Floyd incident were vividly captured, that the entire world saw it clear. So why did you not march with us, with Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Philadelphia Castro? Why did you not march with us? Why did you not kneel with us when we need? Why did you not protest with us when we were protesting? Or are you protesting with us this time around because the world have gladly seen the other side of America, a country that sell herself to the world as the champion of human rights advocate? But the world have seen the other side, the true side of the champion of the human rights advocate. Is that why are you marching with us today? Or are you marching with us so that tomorrow you can get black votes and use that and say we were the one marching out there, we were the one protesting? And by the way, I'm not hating on anybody feeding, because I know we have some of our white brothers and sisters who have understand or who have come to understand the system that work against black people in this country. But my question or our question here is, why did you wait so that long to come out? We understand some of you have taken rubber bullet, and we understand some of you are in a hospital today. We sent you a greeting and a message that we are with you. But a struggle will not end until we cease to aid that this racist system stop. We want to make this message clear to people who have been going out there and trying to mislead the public that black people are thought they are the one looting and burning places. We are not here to point fingers at anybody, because at the end of the day, we all are fighting for a good cause. But we want to make this clear. There is a difference between community and business. And by the way, we are not for the destruction of business. But we want to make it clear. Those businesses are now owned by black people. And those communities are now owned by black people, although we live there. We had communities that were owned by black people, but were destroyed by the same system that was created. And we're going to focus on the Jim Crow era. Like I said, after slavery ended, the Jim Crow era came in to continue the oppression of black people, of African people in this country. And that is what we are trying to address. Black people don't have community. We may have area that we live, but we don't have businesses there. We had our own businesses, we have our own community, and those communities and businesses were destroyed by a racist system that was brought in called the Jim Crow. So let's look at the Jim Crow law here. It was a state and local law that enforced racial segregation enacted during the late and the early 20th century. So segregation, racism were enforced after 1865, the abolition of slavery, when Jim Crow came in. The state divided us because they were not pleased with black people living with white people. We're going to speak clear education here. This is now hitting on white people, okay? We are speaking education. We are speaking history here. So we are speaking as it is. Law made to disenfranchise and remove political and economic gain made by black people during the Reconstruction period. The Reconstruction period was between the period of 1863 to 1877, I believe. Check it out. And during that time period, Africans have their own community. Africans saw themselves as, if we did it for people during slavery, if we did it and empower people, if we did it and we build businesses, we build community, we build town, we build cities for non-black. Now that we are free, we can tell the world that we are genuine. And Africans went on to build their own community. As you can see, Black Wall Street. And I will tell you, it was from that Black Wall Street that today we see Wall Street. Because they stole that idea from black people after they destroyed Black Wall Street. So after slavery, we were doing better. We were building. We were not waiting for the white master to come to tell us what to do. Because we were free. So we were moving on building businesses. We had plane. Black Wall Street, Oklahoma, 1921. We had about 6 planes owned by black people, owned by African people. We have businesses. We have more. We have our own banking system. We have our own system that protected us. We have our own vigilante that protected our community. But the Jim Crow law saw that as empowerment to black people. So the law was made to disenfranchise and remove political and economic gain. So that's how they went to destroy Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Destroy their economic gain. Law that mandated racial segregation in all public facility. African community were underfunded by the racist system, by the racist government system, by the racist policies put in place. So they make sure they put in policies that will continue the oppression of African people in this country. They make sure they put in policy that will continue the underfunding of black institution, of black facility, in this country. Are we not saying that today? Jim Crow is still alive. For example, because of that racist system that was put in place, they say separate or segregation, where black people, you cannot go to live in white people neighborhood, you cannot own an apartment, you cannot buy the house, whether you get the money or not. You will be denied. Go and live in the black community, go and live in a black neighborhood. And those places, facilities were underfunded. The educational system underfunded. You can see HBCU today. HBCU survive, are only surviving because of the contribution of other black people. And what the system have done systematically is they put in funding for non-black institutions. And then to make the state to seem that they are doing well for HBCU, after they have put funding into non-black institutions, they go and put part of the money or the remaining money, and then they call it grant, where you have to go and apply for it. And when you are applying, not only black institution or facility going to apply for it, non-black institutions have already been funded, will all apply for it. And then they call it grant. They put it out there, then all of you guys go and apply. We're seeing it today. Those systems were created during the Jim Crow era, and we still have that system today. And that is why in black community, black public schools are underfunded and defunded and look inferior to our community as compared to other communities. But listen to this. This law, this Jim Crow law was upheld, which means maintain the law. In the case, Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal. You see, the state says separate but equal. But was it equal? No. It wasn't equal because under the separate but equal law, facility of African people were consistently inferior and underfunded compared to the facility of non-black. No equality here. We were still separate, but there was no equality. Again, the Jim Crow law still apply. Where public facility, institution of black people look inferior. Can you not see that today? Public facility and institutional facility of black people underfunded. Can you not see that today? In black in HBCU, can you not see that today with our elementary schools in our community, high schools in our community? Can you not see that today? And all these happen because the fear of the black race. Right after slavery, they saw to it how black people were starving. Not even too long. Black people already have their own community. They already have about 6 private planes owned by black people. Just right after slavery. Imagine the fear that came in. So as a body of law, Jim Crow institutionalized economic, education, and social disadvantage of African people. Are we not seeing that today within our community? Jim Crow era is still in existence today. And you may say to me, but in 1954, segregation of public schools were declared unconstitutional in the Supreme Court of the United States in the case of Brown versus Board of Education. But is that true? On paper, it's there. But is that true? Are we not seeing our public schools? Are we not seeing our HBCU still look inferior? Still underfunded? Are we not seeing it? So this is not about a movement of protesting and then it just stopped. This is about crashing down a system. This is about giving black people their freedom. in this country. This is about telling the system we are no longer a colonized people. This is about scratching all those systems that they keep maintaining after some level of understanding, after some level of harassment, after some level of demonstration. We shouldn't be led because we are seeing many people, police officers, needing today, lawmakers needing down today. Why did they not need for the first time when Colin Kaepernick need and they took away his job? Why did they not need them? So that's where the question came from. Are you needing today because the world have seen the true side of modern day lynching? The world have seen the true side of a nation that portrays herself as the true champion of human rights advocate, while within the United States here, under their own nose, African people are being colonized. Where are the human rights advocates? Let me not see you in any country talking about human rights. You'll be dealt with to the fullest, because we will be coming after you to fight for the human rights violation in this country. So we are no longer going to sit and wait for people who will create a chaos and capitalize on our chaos to get the people to comply to their need. And that is why we say this is not a trend of movement that people will come out today to use this to get into politics, to get black vote, to say, I fought for black people. I was part of that march. I know some of our white friends on the other side are truthful in their hearts. But we got to say this. We're not saying it to hate anybody or to hate our brothers and sisters of white who have come to join us. We say, thank you for joining us. But we have to speak this. Because it is time that we are making the world to understand that we are not going back, but we are going forward. And as we are going forward, we are going to make sure to crouch down the system. So if you are kneeling down today, kneel down for your heart and crouch the system. So that when you see black people in white neighborhood, don't think that they don't live there and don't call police on us. Because we have never caught a white man, or we have never done 911 when we see black people in black neighborhood. I mean, white people in black neighborhood. But why should you see a black person in a white neighborhood and then assume that they don't live there, or assume that they are thief? They are come to loot or to kill. John Henry Clark said, every history is a current event. Like what a Jim Crow law laid down here, and up to now, today we still see it. And because every history is a current event, that is why this 2020, May, we saw clear daylight, a black man being lynched to death, where he cried for his life. It was just like hanging a black man with a rope. It was just like draining a black man's life. So we're going to teach history. So we're going to teach history as it happened until the world can stand still and listen to humanity. So we, as Pan-Africanists, we fear no one. We are irresistible to any force. We were yesterday, and we are today, and we will be tomorrow, and we will be forever. And we say to you, we are coming. This is a new generation. Our forefathers fought, but their fight was kind of different. And our fight will be to end the racist system. Don't be afraid of the black man. The black man is not there to enslave anybody. When the black man tell you equality for all, it's going to be equality for all. There is not going to be anything like black racism, like how we have white racism. There is nothing that's going to be black supremacy, like how we have white supremacy. We believe in humanity from our heart. If we believe in black racism, if indeed we believe in black supremacy, today, I will tell you, we wouldn't have allowed any white person on the continent of Africa. If only you know your history, that we do. But we still allow white people. We still welcome white people. We still embrace white people. So for now, we speak with our heart. There will be nothing like black racism or white or black supremacy like the other side do. We have nothing against you. We just want to live in an equal world that we all will compete. And if you can't compete, a lot for you. But we are not going to create anything like equal but separate, like how you created it. No. We are not going to create anything like separate but equal. No. We're going to be equal. And we all live and strive and survive when we take over. I think now, Pan-Africanism is the way forward.